World War II, the largest and deadliest conflict in human history, a war that engulfed continents, destroyed cities, and claimed the lives of more than 60 million people. But how did the world descend into such devastation? This is the story of World War II. After World War I, Germany was left defeated and humiliated. The Treaty of Versailles imposed harsh penalties. Germany lost territory, its military was restricted, and it was forced to pay enormous reparations. Many Germans saw these terms as deeply unfair. Then came economic disaster. Hyperinflation destroyed savings, unemployment soared, and after the Great Depression of 1929, millions struggled to survive. Amid this chaos, a man named Adolf Hitler rose to power. In 1933, the Nazi Party took control of Germany. Hitler promised to restore national pride, rebuild the military, and reclaim lost territory. At the same time, Benito Mussolini's fascist regime ruled Italy. Meanwhile, in Asia, Japan pursued an aggressive expansionist policy. The world was moving steadily toward another war. In 1938, Germany annexed Austria. Soon after, it occupied parts of Czechoslovakia. Then, on August 23, 1939, Germany and the Soviet Union signed a non-aggression pact. Secretly, they agreed to divide parts of Eastern Europe. Only days later, on September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war. World War II had begun. Germany introduced a terrifying new military strategy: Blitzkrieg, lightning war, fast-moving tanks, coordinated air attacks, and overwhelming force. Within months, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg had fallen. Then came France. In June 1940, Paris was occupied. One of Europe's most powerful nations had been defeated. But Britain refused to surrender. German bombers attacked British cities for months. The skies became battlefields, yet Britain held firm. Hitler's invasion plans failed. Unable to defeat Britain, Hitler turned east. On June 22, 1941, Germany launched Operation Barbarossa, the largest military invasion in history. Millions of Axis soldiers crossed into Soviet territory. At first, German forces advanced rapidly, but then came fierce Soviet resistance and one of the harshest winters ever experienced by invading armies. Near Moscow, the German advance was stopped. Behind the front lines, another horror unfolded. Millions of Jews, Roma people, political opponents, and countless civilians became victims of Nazi persecution. Concentration camps and extermination camps spread across occupied Europe. The Holocaust would become one of history's darkest chapters. Meanwhile, across the Pacific, Japan continued expanding. Then on December 7, 1941, Japanese aircraft launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. Much of the American Pacific Fleet was damaged. The next day, the United States entered the war. The conflict had become truly global. As battles raged across Europe and Asia, the tide slowly began to turn. In 1942, German forces reached the city of Stalingrad. What followed became one of the bloodiest battles ever fought. After months of brutal fighting, the Soviet Union emerged victorious. Germany suffered a devastating defeat. The momentum of the war had changed. In North Africa, Allied forces pushed back Axis armies. Soon they invaded Sicily. Italy's government collapsed, and Germany was forced to take direct control of much of the country. Then came one of the most important days of the entire war. June 6, 1944, D-Day. Thousands of ships, thousands of aircraft, and over 150,000 Allied troops crossed the English Channel, landing on the beaches of Normandy. It was the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe. Within months, Paris was liberated. In the east, Soviet forces continued advancing. Germany was now trapped between two powerful fronts. Its defeat was becoming inevitable. On April 30th, 1945, Adolf Hitler committed suicide in his Berlin bunker. 8 days later, Germany officially surrendered. The war in Europe was over. But the conflict continued in the Pacific. Japan refused to surrender. The United States prepared a weapon unlike anything the world had ever seen. On August 6, 1945, an atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. 3 days later, another bomb struck Nagasaki. The destruction was unprecedented. Hundreds of thousands lost their lives. At the same time, Soviet forces invaded Japanese-held territories in Manchuria. Facing overwhelming pressure, Japan finally surrendered. On August 15, 1945, World War II came to an end. After 6 years of war, more than 60 million people were dead. Entire cities lay in ruins, millions were homeless, and the world would never be the same. The United Nations was created in the hope of preventing future conflicts. Yet a new rivalry soon emerged. The United States and the Soviet Union became global superpowers. The Cold War was about to begin. World War II changed the course of human history forever. Its lessons remain relevant even today. But what do you think was the turning point of the war? Was it Stalingrad, D-Day, or something else? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories from history. See you